Why did you not get into bowling? Is it because of an injury?
I was actually a bowler.
Okay.
Don't hold me to this, but I think I might have been quicker than Shabby.
No, absolutely.
I've actually got screws in my pelvis.
Oh.
I broke my pelvis in 4 places. When I get my phone and I listen to a voice note, I actually get emotional.
How have you enjoyed the wickets over here? Challenging. I'm not talking about the weather or wickets.
I wouldn't say they're too challenging, to be honest. I didn't play on the test, but apparently that one was the most challenging one.
Yeah, because
and I actually looked. There's also the color of it from the outside.
Yeah.
Was very different. It wasn't as light. It was like a putty color.
So over here we have black soil and red soil surface.
Okay.
So the differentiator, just the top crust information I can share is that the red soil basically gets the ball to bounce and grip and bounce a bit more. So it's most in coastal areas. Like in Mumbai, if you play, you will have that kind of a surface. If you go into Chennai, you will have a shared one like black soil. Black soil is the one where the ball will nicely bounce, come onto the bat.
More like last night's wicket.
Even the red soil will be like that, but it will have more purchase for a spinner, and that is what you want. You want the ball to have a nice carry and bounce, but you also want a spinner to be in a contest and a batter to be in a contest to negotiate the turn and bounce. So that and that was a test match wicket. If you play in Mumbai, you'll always get that kind of a wicket.
Yeah.
You play in Delhi, you'll get a black soil surface that you get here. So those are the kind of stadiums usually prefer it. Making it in a different way. Like New Zealand, you were there in the 2022 World Cup.
I was, but it's a bit of a blur.
Hamilton.
But I was. Can't remember much that happened.
Hamilton pitches were 2 separate ones. But you've been around, I mean, again, sports person, more than one sport that you've been a professional athlete too. You had the option of playing javelin, continuing. And what is it with javelin and cricketers? Why is it such a preferred sport? You're the third person who I know who used to play javelin is an international cricketer.
Okay.
Sunit Villuan.
Yeah.
She was the first one. She used to be an excellent fielder at the backward point region, and I know because those were the days I used to play cricket and javelin champion.
Yeah.
Nadine de Klerk, another champion. Now a cricketer. Nadine de Klerk.
Oh, Nadine.
Yes.
Okay. No, she did javelin.
See, got the stories right. And you? The third person.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the arm, eh?
Yeah, right. I mean,
strong arms. That's all we normally boundary fielders. I don't know. We probably run the most.
But why did you not get into bowling? Is it because of an injury?
I was actually a bowler.
Okay.
You know, when I was younger.
Yeah.
And
what happened?
Don't hold me to this, but I think I might have been quicker than Shabby.
No, absolutely.
Honestly, and then of course I had to choose between javelin and cricket.
Yeah.
I chose javelin. Had the car accident, so I've actually got screws in my pelvis.
Oh.
I broke my pelvis in 4 places.
You were driving or you were riding?
I was driving and I looked down on my phone. Car went off the road. Car landed on me. I broke my pelvis in 4 places. I got a massive cut here. I burst my bladder and everything. So I can't, this is the furthest this leg can go. That's why I look very weird when I play a certain shot.
No, you don't look weird. You ask the bowler, they will say,
I don't look picture perfect like a wolf. Yeah, I do things very differently, but this leg can't bend to a certain extent. So, yeah, I thought maybe I should be off it, but I can't turn.
Yeah.
Like side on.
Yeah.
So I'll have to be open up off or something, but I am trying.
But after that car accident, I know about, and I read about it as well, it won't have been that very easy. So how did that support come through, the passion to be in a sport?
It wasn't easy. I actually wanted to commit suicide a few times. That went through my mind and I actually tried. But yeah, I had a very good, mother and father. I still have my mother, but yeah, they were very supportive. So I had to go see someone, get your mind right. But it wasn't easy. I had a lot of dips. I still do sometimes, but I mean that's part of the sport. But yeah, I actually sat in a bar, to be honest with you. Sat in a bar having a few drinks, and this guy came in and he's looking for cricketers, women cricketers. He's now the coach of Northwest, that's a provincial area.
Okay.
He needs a few girls, to come play. And then some of my mates are like, she can play cricket. She played when she was younger. I was like, guys, I'm not doing this. He's like, just rock up with tackies. Came there with tackies, and yeah, one thing led to another. I actually tried to make a comeback in javelin that January, before I made my debut for South Africa, like 4 months after that. And yeah, then I got the call up, and I just thought, maybe it's God's way of redirecting me. Maybe I've got a different purpose aside, and tried it. And yeah, at the age of 33, I'm sitting here.
I mean, in this entire story, I'm thinking of person entering a bar and looking for players. I mean,
no,
that sounds interesting.
He didn't go look for the players in the bar. He was having drinks, and then he saw a bunch of us sitting there, and he asked.
I'm relieved.
Yeah, no, he was just like probably going with a few mates or something. It was like a thing on Saturdays to watch sport, especially when rugby's on.
Yeah,
and then he saw a few of us sitting there, and he didn't know the Clarksdorp, and he was like, maybe girls can play, and they were like, this one.
So when you walked into the domestic cricket setup, I know we've always known of the power that you possess and how strong shots you hit. But when you walked into a domestic cricket setup, did anyone try changing your technique and say, no, this is not the way to hit a shot, this is the way to hit a shot, before you even decided that, yes, I will take up this game professionally?
Not actually, I played when I was younger, so it's not like it was always, I wasn't a powerful hitter then. Because when I left the cricket team when I was 13, 14, 15 or whatever, I was actually a bowler. I wasn't a batsman, so that's actually quite funny how this all changed. So, no, when I started domestic, I think I batted number 4 or 5, was never an opener either. And then that just slowly came a year or two before I got the call up, and I've had a few coaches try and change a few things.
Yes.
But I'm always up for, extra knowledge. So I do try, and work on it, because you want to be the world's best.
Yes.
You don't want to be, just access the offside. You want to be able to play all these shots. I might look funny doing them, but
you actually don't. You look the most impressive when the ball is just hitting the side screen, right on top of it. And I've seen that, and I will tell you exactly where I've seen it. Of course, the best game that I've seen, which is there in the memory, is against England in the World Cup semi-final, where Tazmin Brits was all over the park. First she was hitting a half century, she was hitting the ball all around the ground, then she was catching the ball all around the ground, and I was at the venue. And I was like, wow, someone can be such a crucial all-rounder. So I've seen that happen, but it wouldn't have happened overnight. It would have happened, how I get to an opening slot, how do I get to positions where I can contribute more. So how did you see all of this?
Yeah, I'm a massive, fan when it comes to teamwork. I always play for the team. So I'm not a bowler, so when I do feel that I want to be, the next Jonty, I got a bit of I'm almost trying to catch his name in the women's department. But I always want to be the best fielder I can be. I strive on they don't run twos on me on a boundary. I always try my best. And funny enough, I was even short third, I think, that day, and the ball came to me.
Exactly, at top edge.
It was all over. And then, funny enough, I actually made a joke. I said, maybe you should throw me the ball. Maybe I should bowl. Sometimes if it's going your way, it's going your way. But luckily we didn't have to do that. But I don't know. It's that day. I don't think I'll ever forget that day, to be honest. To match it is going to be difficult.
How was the celebration? I mean, I always thought, I've been in a position where India has won a semi-final and lost a final. So I know the celebration was weird, was very different. How was yours? When you knew that the South African team is in the final? I knew it was a quick turnaround, but still.
It didn't actually hit me. It took a few days. Only after the final, I actually, when you get back, they're like, do you guys realize what you guys actually just did? And we still sit there, we're like, okay, we made a bit of history.
Yeah.
But as we progressed, and as we, maybe got more sponsors or got more this or that, and we got these messages from the younger girls or from this in the world, what's actually been done, then you actually sit and realize, this wasn't just anything small.
No,
this was
massive.
But yet again, with that comes a lot of pressure. With the next World Cup coming, you don't want to. We actually challenged the men, so they got to the final now. After we got to the final, so now we have to better them again. So we have to win the final. So it's becoming a bit of a
It's a race within a race.
Yes, that is it.
I would love that, because I think women leading the way. That's such a beautiful thing. So again, for WPL, is it on your bucket list?
Definitely. Yes, I don't know. I've been trying to get myself in, whether it's whatever, IPL, Big Bash, all of those things, the 100. I don't know what more to do. So if you have any tips, maybe you can, just
Maybe phone calls.
Yeah, that would be great. I do feel that's also where a person learns a lot.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I've seen like majority of our, not senior players, but our more experienced players, they play around the world.
Yes.
So to play on these wickets, and if I faced, let's say a Dipti and whoever, and I faced them more than once, you know what's coming.
Yeah.
It makes your game so much easier to plan. But when you've never, a video can only give you so much. You can only analyze that much until you're actually there. So, yeah.
Have you ever trained with the boys? Have been in the men's cricket academy and practiced hitting the strokes that they hit now or they practice now?
I do. Where I stay, I actually work with some of the boys, but the problem with the men, they're so tall, and even the spinner, their spin is like medium for us.
Correct.
And it passes your head.
Yes.
So when you want to practice a sweep, it's a bit difficult to practice a sweep. You got to practice like a back foot punch with them.
Yes.
But what's nice about them is, where I come from, they're very, they're all for you.
Yes.
Which you normally would think is a separation with men and women. It isn't like that. Those academy boys that I work with, they even want to make me a keeper. They're like...
Yeah, I don't know. When I first read about you, that is a few years ago, it's like, so you got 3 wicket keepers. And that time there was Trisha as well. Trisha is there, Sonalo is there, even Tazmin can keep. No, Tazmin doesn't keep. Oh, okay, then she can bowl. Maybe a wrong information. No, she can keep, but we don't want her to keep, we want her to bat. How does this happen now?
I'm not actually a keeper. At all.
Yeah.
Maybe a keeper in a relationship, then they want to keep me. But in general, I'm not a keeper. But let's not say anything, because I like the fact that I can do something else. Because you can't say batter fielder, because everyone has to field. So let's keep the keeping part there. But no, I've been desperate, because a lot of times to get in these leagues, I feel you have to be all rounder.
Yes.
Your chances are so much better, or you have to be like an AB or Chris Gale that can hit the ball and
360.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
I always think, yes, I should have an extra skill. Maybe I should go into the keeping direction, but age 33, bending down with your knees, I might not get back up.
That's young, because you've got experience as well. We're thinking we'll sort something out. How can you be? Maybe captaincy.
Captaincy.
There's another skill.
No, I've got that.
Okay, done.
I captain my provincial team quite often.
No, we have to get to another skill then. We'll find something.
We need a physical skill, like an off-field.
Okay, I thought some more skill can get added on. Okay, so with this younger generation coming in as well, I mean, of course, not that you're too old, but with youngsters coming through as well, there is a happy bunch which moves around in this team environment of yours. Do you ever look at them and say, right, I must feed off them, or do they still feed off your energy and of your expertise? How does this balance out?
Yeah, we're all different humans, and like you say, they're nice and young, so they've got a lot more energy. I've realized when we go into a locker room, without even thinking, it's like a Kappie and me will sit on the side, because we're more of the older ones. We like a bit of quietness.
Yeah.
And then they will sit like over there, and they've got the boombox going and the music going. Now and then it's some nice songs, and you'll probably see a foot tapping of the older ones, but we won't be jumping up dancing. But I think we actually feed off their energy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Not that we don't have any, we more on the field, we pumped, and I think that's where they feed. But off the field, I don't know where they get the energy from. I've drank 3 cups of coffee and I still can't stick to them, so I don't know. But yeah, it's nice to be young. It's
absolutely,
and it's exciting for them. A lot of them have never had tours. First tour to India, with all your friends. What more do you want?
And it's not a country where you'll just wake up and a younger generation and say, right, I'm going to India. You want to get to India to explore the country, which is obviously beautiful, but it doesn't happen at a very young age of a 19, 20. So for them, I'm sure they're looking at you, what to eat, what not to eat, where to go, how can we go for a sightseeing tour or something, and the tours are organized in a very nice manner.
Yeah, no, I don't know. That's once again, they've got energy, because a few of them are actually out shopping. And I thought to myself, I can hardly get out of my bed today. And they're busy shopping. Like, it's a struggle. But yeah, you've got to experience. You might never come here again. So you've got to live in the moment. So I'm glad they're touring a bit.
Do you remember your first cricket bat?
Yes, not actually, to be honest.
Okay. Was it gifted to you or you bought it?
No, I was gifted by my uncle.
Okay.
So I'm trying to actually think now what that's what. I think it was like a kookaburra or something.
Okay.
But no, once again, I'm not very good with.
That's okay.
Remember, if you ask me what
pick up a bat and start batting.
If you ask me what did you do in that tour and I made maybe a 60, I'll be like, don't know.
Okay.
I remember the World Cup semi-final. That's about where we at the moment.
Do you have any childhood memory that you will say, right, every time it's a good moment, I always reflect that this is where I started from? There can be any childhood memory, with the sport, without the sport around you, but it's something that spurs you on, encourages you to do well. Is there?
Not necessarily a moment,
okay.
but when I get my phone and I listen to a voice note, I actually get emotional. And like my mom, she like, I'm so proud of you, and she starts crying, and she's like, I'm sorry I'm crying, but and I say this all over, but I'm proud of you. And then I realize, like it's been a journey. But I always know when I get there, besides the 40 messages, if I go to hers, like
obviously
it makes me just sit there and like the world stops and it's like, okay, this is where I'm at.
And it's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
And it should never change.
I don't think it will. My mom will make sure I remember it.
Do you remember your first cap, South African cap? When and where and who gave it to you?
That's also a blur. I remember my first ODI cap.
Okay.
It was Abbas. He's actually our video analyzer. Yeah. So we get along quite well. I remember that one he gave me, and I think that was actually in Durban. But T20, sure, that's our. So
it's okay. It doesn't matter. The logo doesn't change.
I remember the 50th. That just happened now.
Yeah.
The T20
Yeah.
and Coco Chloe. She gave me that one. So yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so a few rapid fire questions for you. Do you have a superstition? Do you have a process? I know you're trying to get the process of the practice, but do you have a superstition? This is how I want to do things. This is my process.
Not really, but I do believe if I eat a donut before a game, something good happens.
Your first time in India, I know it's your second occasion that you're playing a series. Your first time in India, is it long back that you have to really dwell upon your memory? And do you remember anything of that tour?
It was almost like a street market, and I tried, I think it's called Pani Puri.
Yes,
or something.
oh, amazing.